What's going on, everyone? In this video today, we're going to go over a full breakdown of the 4 new divisions that USA Powerlifting just announced for 2021. So let's get right into the video. Alrighty, welcome back my powerlifting people. Thank you for checking out the channel and tuning into another video. And if you're new here and you don't know who I am, my name is Venmo Khamesi. I'm a powerlifting coach, athlete, referee, and meet director. So I make videos here on this channel to help out those groups of people. In this video today, it's going to help out a lot of those groups because if you are a lifter interested in one of these new divisions that USA Powerlifting is offering for 2021, or maybe you're coaching a lifter that can enter one of these divisions, or you are a referee, you're trying to find out more information, or you are a meet director and trying to find out more information, and this is going to be a good video. We're going to break down the 4 new divisions that USA Powerlifting is offering here for 2021. We're going to go a little bit more detailed into where you can find the information, whether you can set records in these divisions, whether there's a national championship for these divisions or international competition, and what the future may be for these divisions. So I already have my computer pulled up right here, and let's get right into it. So you always go to USAPowerlifting.com, and when you go to the news, you'll see right here, back in December, it says launches 4 new lifting categories for 2021. So that is what you want to click on to get to the news post, and you can see right here the 4 new divisions are going to be 1, the adaptive athlete, 2, the para bench, 3, MX, and 4, raw with wraps. And then as you go down, you'll see the breakdown for each of the new divisions right here with links to more information so you can get all the details about whatever division you're interested in. But let's go through the 4 divisions real quick, one by one. So first up will be the adaptive athlete. And as you can see here, it's for people that are physically unable to adhere to the USA Powerlifting rulebook as is. So it could be someone who can't lock out a joint, like they can't lock out their elbow or their knee. Or it could be someone who can't have their head down on the bench press. It could also be people who are missing limbs, hands, fingers, feet, all that kind of stuff. And people who may not be able to grab the bar with just their hands and may need some kind of assistive device like a strap. So lots of different options here as far as what kind of limit you have. You have to see whether you fall into one of these categories, go read the more information, and then apply for it. So when you click the link here to go to more in-depth information, then you'll come over to this page. We'll make it a little bit bigger, and you can get more information. Again, it goes over all the different possible issues. For example, the not being able to lock out the elbows or knees. Way back in the day, before I was around, they used to allow medical exemptions for this. But from what I hear, and from what I'm assuming the reason why they got rid of it is because people try to take advantage of the rules. They'd find any doctor that can write them a note saying, oh, I can't lock out my elbow, so that way they can try and bench press more weight by not ever locking out. So they took that away, and for a long time, you had to fully lock out your joints, beginning and end. If you could not fully lock out your joints, then unfortunately you cannot compete in USA Powerlifting because you're gonna receive red lights. But now they are bringing it back in using this adaptive athlete division. So as you go down, you'll get more information about it and the procedures to apply for it. In the future, they'll probably have it that when you go purchase your USA Powerlifting membership and you click on the adaptive athlete as the division you want to be assigned to, then you're going to get a little pop-up notification saying, hey, you have to apply for this. You have to submit in various documents and get approved for your specific situation. Right now, they're still putting everything together. They're still developing the form and everything like that. So if you go right now and you hit adaptive athlete, that information is not going to pop up. So what you'd have to do right now is you have to contact USA Powerlifting, more specifically the technical committee right here, tc@usapowerlifting.com. If you contact them and say you're interested as a lifter, or maybe you have a lifter and you're a coach, then once they build out the form and all the information, they'll be able to provide it to you. That way you can go fill it out and then you can apply for it and they can approve you for a specific situation. When you get approved, you'll get a paper, a letter saying what you're specifically approved for. So that when you enter the competition, you can show them that, okay, I'm approved for not locking out my knees, or I'm approved for I need to use straps when I deadlift. And that way the rules can be adjusted for your specific situation based on what you were approved for. With that said, you can see here that they're not going to have records or rankings for this division because there's going to be so many different options of what you're approved for, and not everyone's going to be on a level playing field, and you don't want to make all these separate records and rankings for every single possible combination of all these inabilities here and all these amputations that you may have. So for now, they're not going to do any records or rankings. Also important to note on this line here that all the same USA Powerlifting drug testing rules apply, so you are going to be drug tested the same as if you were in any other division. All right, so let's go back to the news post and let's go to the next one, and that's going to be the MX division. And for people who don't know, MX division, you can see right here in the first sentence, is for any and all athletes, no matter how they identify. So just going to be an open division for however you identify, you can compete in this division. And because they're going to be combining, again, male and female, then they're switching up the weight classes. So that's something important to note here, is that they're going to be competing against 14 weight classes And some of them are, the old weight classes, and you can be combining men's and women's weight classes. So that's what you can see right here. You're gonna get a lot of divisions. Like currently you have the 52, but for example, the 82.5 used to be an old men's division. So you have lots more weight classes here for both men and women. And you can see here that they align with the LGBT Powerlifting Union's MX category that already has this division going on. Also important to note with the MX category, just like the adaptive athlete, is that it's going to be the same anti-doping rules. So the USA Powerlifting anti-doping rules are going to apply to adaptive athlete and this MX division the same. All right, and then you can go into the further details and the FAQ. So if you go to the further details, it'll send you over to this page. We'll make it a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit too big, so you can see more information about that. One of the things to note is here that starting in 2022, their plan is to have a nationals for the MX division, and then eventually have the path to international competition to represent United States abroad. So for this division, they're gonna be transitioning towards having a national championship and then being able to send people to international championships. Then you wanna go through and read more information here. It shows how they're calculating the best lifter award. And here again, you see all the weight classes. Here you can see for both the adaptive athlete, MX, and the rest of them, you can see as of now, meet directors are not required to offer to the category. And it's the same currently with like if you don't want to offer bench only, or if you don't want to offer equipped, the meet directors have the power to offer whatever divisions, events, all that kinds of stuff that they want, and do the awards for weight class and everything like that how they want. So for now, it is not required, but we'll see going forward for these 4 new divisions, if eventually maybe they make them required at certain levels, like maybe the state championship or the regional championship, they'll be required to have them there in order for you to be able to run that championship. But for now, please note that it is not required. All right, and here you can note that for the MX category, they are going to offer state records. So once they get this category going and lifters start competing in it, they'll be able to start building out those state records. All right, and then another thing to note is that with this category, it can be combined with the other divisions. So once you're in the MX category, then you can choose whether you want to lift raw, equipped, or raw with wraps is another new division. And then inside of that, you'll be able to compete again in the age division, sub junior, junior, open masters, everything like that. And then you'll be able to compete again in the weight classes. So then you have all the weight classes. So there's gonna be further divisions once you're inside that MX category, depending on what you want to compete in. All right, let's go to the next one. So we'll go back to the news post. We'll go down to our next division is gonna be the para bench. So this is more specific than the adaptive athlete. The adaptive athlete covers a number of different things. The para bench is specifically for the bench press. It's specifically based off of World Para Powerlifting and 8 eligible physical impairments. So again, if you go to the click here and go to more information, you'll get the more information there. I'll make this a little bit bigger. More information here of the eligible impairments defined by World Para Powerlifting, and you'll see the impairments here, what the types are, what the descriptions are, everything like that. More information about the classifications, everything like that, as weigh-ins. So here you go, you can find more information, see if you fall into this category, and all the stuff if you want to be a meet director, what equipment is recommended for you to have for weigh-ins and for the actual bench press. For referees, the rules of performance, you can read the rules of performance here. There's some small adjustments, but they're not going to use the World Para Powerlifting rules because they have a lot more rules. It's a lot stricter. If you ever go look at a World Para Powerlifting bench event, you'll see that like the bench press looks perfect and they'll get 3 red lights. So instead of us referees having to memorize the USA Powerlifting rulebook and the Para Powerlifting rulebook, they're going to keep with the USA Powerlifting rulebook and just make these small adjustments to help out those lifters. For example, the time allowed can now be 2 minutes to begin the lift, whereas regularly it is 60 seconds or 1 minute. All right, so again, if you are coaching someone, you're a lifter, you're a meet director, referee, good to go to these little detailed forms and read all the information. If you have more questions, you can always email tc@usapowerlifting.com, which is the technical committee headed by Joe Arpaia, so he'll be able to answer all the questions since he's one of the main guys developing all these divisions. A couple things to know with the para bench is that they are going to have state and American records for the para bench division. And in addition, there's not going to be an equipped division. It's only going to be a raw division. And as always, with all these divisions, all the USA Powerlifting anti-doping rules apply. So everyone is going to be drug tested or be able to be drug tested the same as the other divisions. All right, so back we go to the news post. We're going to go to the last division, which is the raw with wraps division. So back in the day when they're first starting the raw division, they actually allowed wraps. And then it came to a time where they wanted to decide whether they're going to go with wraps or knee sleeves. They actually voted on it at the meeting and it was an exact tie. So the tiebreaker went to the president of USA Powerlifting, Larry Maley, and he voted for knee sleeves. And that is why now in our raw division, we only allow knee sleeves. We do not allow knee wraps. You have to be equipped for knee wraps. So now we're getting the raw with wraps division where now you can wear the knee wraps. All right, and then you can see here that for now it's going to be, just the local level, and it'll qualify you for equipped nationals if you want to compete at equipped nationals. But you're going to be competing against people that can wear squat suits and bench shirts and deadlift suits. So if you don't want to use it, you'll be at a disadvantage, but you cannot qualify for raw nationals using your raw with wraps total, since obviously the wraps are helping you out. So you have to qualify for raw nationals just in the raw division where you're only allowed knee sleeves. But when you, again, here you can notice when you go to equipped nationals, there's not going to be a raw with wraps division. You're going to be in that equipped division where everyone is allowed to wear squat suits, bench shirts, deadlift suits, plus the knee wraps. All right, and then again, you hit the little extra detailed information. You come to this page. I'll make this bigger once again. You can find all the information about the raw with wraps division here and some of the questions you may have. Couple of things important to note is one here, state and American records will be maintained for the raw with wraps division. And instead of having them be empty and just having everyone break American records every time, they are setting standards. The IPF does this as well with the world records. They're setting standards, and the standards are based off of what were the current raw records. So whatever the current raw records were, those become the standards for raw with wraps, and you have to go and break those standards in order to get that record. And as always, like all the other divisions, all the anti-doping rules for USA Powerlifting for all the other divisions apply as well for the raw with wraps division. And so if you go over to the lifting database, I have it pulled up right here, and then you can see here you're going to have men's American records, men's raw American records, and then next men's raw with wraps American records. So all the records are already up here, so you go click on that. You can go check out the men's raw with wraps American records. You go to whatever age division you want. Let's see if we can go over to the open. And if you go over to the open and you look at the squat, you'll see it says all standards, because these are all standards. And if you look at the numbers, you can see that they are based off the raw records. So this 83 kilo record, for example, is Russell Ortiz. This 120 plus record, for example, is Ray Williams. All right, so there you have it. Those are all the new divisions coming to USA Powerlifting this year. It'll take a little bit of time to transition into the various meets, as some meets already might be full in their roster. And so people may not want to switch to a different division, or the meet director might not have time to implement some of these divisions, especially like the para bench, if they have to have certain amount of equipment that they currently do not have. As we go further and further into this year and we have more meets on the calendar, more time for meet directors to prepare, you're going to start seeing these divisions at local meets and then slowly build up from there. And as they said in their various information is they're going to try and build out the nationals for some of these divisions, like the MX division, and eventually maybe have an international competition there. With the other divisions too, we'll see how it goes. If there's a lot of growth in the division, like when the raw division first came out, the growth really skyrocketed, and that's what led to the IPF Classic Worlds. Same thing with the University World, same thing with the Raw Bench Worlds. So who knows what happens if one of these divisions or all these divisions really start getting some growth, then maybe you're just gonna start seeing, a continental championship or a world championship. Maybe they'll do a World Cup first to test it out, and eventually maybe one of these will become a world championship. So we'll see over time, but if you want to find information, again, usapowerlifting.com, come to this news post, and then make sure you're clicking on whichever division you're interested in, that information, so you can really see the breakdown, everything that you need to know about it. They have the FAQ here for the MX. If you are a competitor or a referee or meet director, you really want to go through and read all this so you have all the information before you tell someone basically what they can or cannot do as far as entering the division, what records they can break, what national championship they can qualify, all that information. And so hopefully that helped you out. If you want to know more information about all the national championships coming to USA Powerlifting this year, you can check out this little video that I have up here that I just put up this week. If you want to hear all the powerlifting news, not just the national championships, but you want to know more about the local level, the continental level, and the world championships that IPF is hosting, then you can check out this video here that I put up. Those would be two great videos for you to watch if you're interested in that more information to know everything that's going down in 2021. Other than that, hope you guys had a good week and have a good weekend. I'll see you in that next video.